Times as we hear about nuclear power, please give them a warm welcome.
Hi, I'm Matt Kolzinski. This is John Bland, and that's Olivia Strickland, and we're going to talk about the negative effects of nuclear power. Now, a little backstory on nuclear power. It was first proposed by Eisenhower in 1953 in his famous speech, Atoms for Peace, where he suggested that not only should nuclear energy be used for weapons of mass destruction, but it should also be used for civilian purposes, such as generating power. Nuclear energy is the most powerful resource we have, or any energy-generating resource that we have on Earth today. But it also comes at an extreme cost, not only economically, but environmentally and socially.
The U.S. Subcommittee on Domestic Energy needs to recommend to the federal government whether or not they should subsidize the construction of more nuclear power plants throughout the U.S.
Hello, I'm Keyshawn, and these are my classmates Sydney Myler and Noel Easley, and we're doing the benefits of nuclear power. So, as you can see, this is clearly a nuclear power plant, and a little bit of background: the first time uranium was discovered was in 1793 by a German scientist. In 1873, we discovered that uranium puts off radiation, and as everyone knows, in 1945 we had the first use of atomic weapons. And from there on, we started using nuclear energy for better purposes for energy. And so the first time we had a nuclear reactor was in Idaho in 1951, and it was called the experimental breaker. And it was a precursor to nuclear energy as we know it today, which is cheap, it is clean for emissions, and it is better than the competitors.
The first disadvantages of nuclear power appear when uranium is first dug out of the ground. Uranium miners don't face healthy workplace conditions, and they aren't really required to. In Europe, one of the places in the world where nuclear power is most prominent, it is estimated that underwhelmingly only half of uranium miners actually wear their protective masks meant to prevent them from breathing in radioactive radon particles. And radon particles are microscopic radioactive particles that go through the air while the miners are breathing. In a study by the Environmental Protection Agency, or the EPA, places radon particle inhalation as the second leading cause of lung cancer in the world, and second only to smoking. And also in nuclear power, we are forced to rely on a non-renewable resource. So just like any non-renewable resource, the world's deposits of uranium will eventually be depleted, and we will have to move on to another source either way.
Okay, so this graph shows emissions of fossil fuels. They're the gases that are emissions from these fossil fuel plants. And carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide are extremely bad if they're released into our atmosphere. And as you can see, this is millions of tons of these horrible gases. And basically, this is warming up our Earth a lot faster than many animals can adapt to. And if we keep going like this, it could cause another mass extinction. And common sense, that probably wouldn't be that good. So, scientists are looking for solutions, and one of these solutions is nuclear power. And nuclear power is basically you get this uranium atom and you split it, and the splitting of it actually creates this enormous power surge that heats up water and it creates steam, which powers turbines, which creates power. And most of this uranium, they say it's non-renewable, and the actual atom uranium is non-renewable, that's true. But actually 97% of the leftover fuel is actually able to be reused again or recycled. The 3% that's left over is very radioactive afterwards and can remain radioactive for thousands of years. And we call this nuclear waste. And it's a big problem because we're running out of places to store it. And one solution for this is to actually not use as much uranium anymore, but to actually use another atom called thorium. which does the exact same thing as uranium. You split it, it gets energy. But the only problem with thorium is that it actually takes longer to prepare, and it is more radioactive before it's put in the reactors. And due to our society being, we want things now, we want things fast, we want our energy now. A lot of times people won't change from uranium to thorium because it's slower. But once we really put it into our society, then I believe that thorium could actually be a huge deal for nuclear power plants. But even if we do continue to use uranium, it is still so much better than this.
Everybody knows about the famous incident that happened in 1986, known as Chernobyl, out on the outskirts of a town called Pripyat, with a population of about 50,000 men, women, and children, mostly families of power plant workers and emergency services nearby. On April 25th, one of the reactors went into meltdown, multiple reactors actually went into meltdown, and thus caused the death of 2 employees on site, and then 38 emergency workers later, eventually leading to 4,000 cases of thyroid cancer directly attributed to radon particle release in adolescents and children at the time. It pictures a group of liquidators then sent in to clean up the mess. Most of it was in the Ukrainian, Belarusian, and Russian area, but it has spread all around Europe, some reaching even parts of the east coast of America. It is very disastrous, as you can see. Many residents of not only Pripyat, but surrounding towns within hundreds of miles have had to be relocated multiple times due to the spreading radiation. It has a world impact, like I said. It affects everyone around the world. Chernobyl specifically, since it advocated for safer conditions in nuclear reactors.
This here shows a graph of how the money we put towards our power sources and power plants, and it just shows how much more energy we receive from nuclear compared to solar and wind. Nuclear energy gives off a higher amount of energy, and this can power cities and like large towns and industries compared to solar and wind, which cannot because they don't have enough energy to give off. Most people are concerned because uranium might run out between 30 to 60 years, but like Sydney said, there's an alternative to that, thorium. And with solar and wind energy, you have to, it's based off the environment. So when it's sunny, you have solar energy. And when it's windy outside, that's how you get more wind energy. But with nuclear, it's stored in power plants. And your energy is always going to be given off no matter what's happening in the world, in the environment.
Another major concern with nuclear power is its environmental impact and radioactive waste. Uranium fuel pellets are the fuel for nuclear power and are very dangerous. Once they are used, there's still a little uranium left that cannot be used to power an entire power plant. This radioactive waste is either transported to another site for disposal or disposed of on site. This is very dangerous because even the smallest accident in transportation can cause radioactive waste to leak out into the environment. The most common disposals of radioactive waste are underground burial or burial in ice sheets. There are other methods of disposal being considered for safety reasons. Another concern with radioactive waste is its adverse effects on the environment. Uranium negatively affects both plants and animals and causes genetic mutations and an increased risk in cancer. With these genetic mutations, cancer is passed on to children and generations to come, making this a long-lasting problem. Another concern with this disposal of the radioactive waste is scavenging. Scavenging is when people will risk their lives to go dig up buried radioactive waste and illegally sell it for a high price. As of today, there's still no safe place for this radioactive waste.
All right, so as you can see here by this graph, this is just showing how much every source of power we had costs, with the fuel costs and the fixed costs, which is just generally the upkeep of a power plant. And you can see that nuclear power has a higher fixed cost than most others, but the fuel cost is low, and that is because of a simple fact. That nuclear power, the fuel of nuclear power produces more energy than any other source of power. According to the European Association of Energy, a kilogram of coal generates 8 kilowatts per hour of energy. A kilogram of mineral oil generates 12 kilowatts per hour of energy. And a kilogram of uranium, which is used to fuel nuclear power, generates 24 million kilowatts per hour. The average household in Louisiana, which is the state who uses the most energy on average, uses 15,000 kilowatts per hour. So just from a kilogram of uranium, you can power 1,600 households for about a year. So as you can see, also nuclear power has no emissions whatsoever, and one of the biggest worries is the fuel, which is uranium, that it might run out. But like Sydney said, we have this backup plan, which is thorium, which is A, healthier for the environment, and B, it does the same thing. It just costs a little bit of extra money, but it provides the same amount of power as uranium.
In conclusion, nuclear power causes us to rely on a non-renewable and difficult and dangerous mine resource. Accidents can occur at any time and for many reasons, various reasons, and accidents can be devastating and long-lasting on the environment.
Because of these dangerous effects, we do not believe that the U.S. Subcommittee on Domestic Energy should recommend to the federal government to subsidize the construction of more nuclear power plants throughout the U.S. Instead, they should focus their time, energy, and money on research for alternative and safer energy sources derived from communities.
Okay, in conclusion, we think that we should have nuclear power plants because it's healthier for the environment, gives off less carbon dioxide to help not have global warming. It's better than our geothermal and our other resources of energy, and it costs less. So if you think about it, yeah, we do have nuclear waste problems and where to store it, but of course you're gonna have risks and problems with anything that you're trying to do. And to evolve in our world and to get better with stuff, we have to really just think about all the risks and just go through it.
Questions for either side, or question in front row? Which side?
I guess for both sides, but how often does a nuclear power plant, not knowing how many years for it to kind of come down?
Or is it melt down, or?
It's more
Go
of
away.
what's affected by things that happen in the environment. For example, at Fukushima, a tsunami directly caused the meltdown. At Chernobyl, it was a operating error. So it can just be a wide variety of unpredictable factors.
So like massive, how many years?
This is a clean up.
No, so like for it, so you build a nuclear power plant and it goes on for however many years and then it kind of runs out, I guess. How long would that be?
So like if it was like, it wasn't, the upkeep wasn't being, yeah, like it breaks. Like
Yeah.
it's just, you can't repair it
Yeah.
anymore.
It's
So
very,
Maybe are you asking kind of what's the average lifespan?
Yeah.
Did anybody find any information what the average lifespan of nuclear power plant is?
A nuclear plant can run uninterrupted for about a year until one can
Okay. And then that's maintenance, and then it's upkeep. Okay. All right.
Do you know, do you know where in the world they're using experimental with plutonium?
I didn't know.
Thorium is being used experimentally in like France, because France has a lot of nuclear energy, and so they're having a lot of nuclear waste problems. And so they're probably the ones that are most experimental with thorium, but I think everyone's trying to find solutions, and everyone's, just experimenting here and there.
So it's been theorized that a thorium reactor could use the waste of uranium, older uranium ones. Is this possible? Is there a difference from giving it to a uranium reactor once again?
What do you mean?
Like, it's theorized that the waste from a uranium plant can be put back into a thorium one. Is this any different from putting it back into the uranium one?
Oh, so, you're talking about the 93% recyclable.
So, like, are you asking if thorium is recyclable too? Yeah, all of thorium can be reused, and there's no nuclear waste in that.
My question is for both sides. Based on the research that you've done, and then after watching the fracking presentation earlier, do you feel nuclear is a better option or a worse option than fracking specifically?
Yeah, I believe it's better. I mean, you don't run into as many health hazards as you do with fracking. You just have the occasional meltdown, which doesn't.
Let him answer. Let him answer.
Fracking nuclear power?
Over time, nuclear, is going to give you a big huge disaster, and then, long lasting effects on the environment afterwards. So eventually, that will go away, but not for a long time. I think the fracking, the damages kind of are not as bad, but it's not as conventional.
So smaller effects, but over time, the fracking, when nuclear happens, like nuclear is healthy until that meltdown happens, and then okay.
I was just gonna say the meltdown at Chernobyl, it was like a really poorly run.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't let people know that it was melting down, and they told them after the radioactive stuff had already started to leak out.
And from Fukushima, I believe there was only 200 cases of cancer reported from the radioactivity at that time.
Right, and it's relatively long term, so you can see what happens, but and and it's much more widespread. The biggest widespread.
All right, so like, when there is a meltdown, like, what exactly happens? Like, now I'm not asking what causes it, but like, what is bad? What is bad about it? Like, how does the bad stuff get out?
So the way nuclear power works is a controlled reaction. And so you're splitting like a couple of atoms at a time to power water, or to heat up water, which powers turbines. With a meltdown, it's usually an uncontrolled reaction, where it just keeps splitting and splitting, because once you split an atom, neutrons and protons fly off.
All right. You say there's no emissions, but in all the photos I saw like gas coming out of the like stack. What is that?
That's water vapor. That's just steam from the water. That's
But that's what, if there is meltdown, that's what can become radioactive. It's if it gets out of containment, so that's what happens, because that's like. Very nice.